Updated 9 hours ago, a visit to the hospital showed coach Mike Tomlin exactly how much Ryan Shazier means as a person to the Steelers. A review of the film from the game Sunday night likely showed how much Shazier means to them as a player. In their first game without their injured Pro Bowl linebacker, the Steelers used 3 players at his position with limited results in a 3,938 win over the Baltimore Ravens. A committee approach to supporting the middle of the defense is not ideal, but it's what Tomlin will face for as many games as the Steelers have left this season. That realization became official Tuesday when Shazier was placed on injured reserve, ending his season. Shazier remains at a UMPC hospital after undergoing spinal stabilization surgery last week. A recent trip to see him left Tomlin strengthened by the visit and Shazier's upbeat attitude. "It's just his spirit," Tomlin said at his weekly news conference. "I go see him, and he wants to talk about the game plan. He wants to talk about how the guys are doing. He wants to talk about specifically what is transpiring in practice settings and so forth." That's Ryan Shazier's importance to the Steelers on the field is such that he leads the team in tackles, interceptions, passes defensed and forced fumbles. He also was the defensive signal caller, relaying the play calls from the sideline via the headset inside his helmet. Without Shazier on Sunday, the Steelers allowed a season-high in points and their second-highest yardage total. The test doesn't get any easier this week when the Steelers play the New England Patriots 103. Tyler Matakovich, the backup at both inside linebacker spots, also was sidelined against Baltimore because of a shoulder injury, forcing the Steelers to go to Plan C. Sean Spence, who was out of work since October 3rd until the Steelers resigned him last week, started in place of Shazier and Matakovich against the Ravens and is listed as the starter on the depth chart. Arthur Moats, a converted outside linebacker, rotated series with Spence. LJ Fort was used on some passing downs. Tomlin would prefer not to deploy a linebacker but committee approach but said it's not feasible given all Shazier provides. "I'd love to see one guy, but identify that guy," Tomlin said. "Shay is a special guy with a lot of talents, not only physically but mentally and from a leadership standpoint and communication. It's just not a realistic discussion to talk about one guy replacing him." Spence played 34 snaps and contributed a lone-assisted tackle. Moats played 19 snaps, and had 2 solo tackles and 3 overall. Fort played 8 snaps, and had a pass defensed. Added up, those numbers paled to a typical Shazier performance. "We're not trying to replace Ryan, but we have to find a way to supplement his playmaking, his leadership and what he means to us," linebacker Vince Williams said. "They did the best they could for being placed in that type of situation. They did as much as they could," said Tomlin. "All 3 had moments positively and negatively. We are going to work to accentuate the positives. It might be a redistribution of snaps. It might be a redefining of roles, not only this week but in upcoming weeks. That's how it goes." Williams zoomed Shazier's role of calling the defensive signals. Fort also had the ability to call plays when he was on the field. Tomlin said that aspect will be a work in progress. "It wasn't as smooth as you'd like," Tomlin said. "That was probably a reasonable expectation. We were without our defensive quarterback. It's also reasonable to expect it to smooth out as it continues." Joe Rutter is a Tribune Review staff writer. Reach him at jrutter@tribweb.com or via Twitter @TribeYourRutter.